my drink made. Okay, should have been oh, just 1 minute. 1 minute. Do this part. What's always complicated. Good. Like this. All right, there we go. I think we're in. Everybody can hear me, yeah? Been a while since we've done one of these.
I got you.
Good to go.
Right. Cool. Well, we are back. And thank God it is Wednesday. This, my friends, is Booze and Biz. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, thank you so much for being literally the most important part of the entire show. So if you want to join the show live, there is a link in the description on how you can get into the Zoom. For you Facebook folks, the link is there in the comments. I went ahead and pinned it so you guys can just jump right in. All right, so it's Booze and Biz. So what is the booze this week? It is right here. This is not, my friends, another goofy celebrity tequila. No. This is Tequilla de la Gente, the tequila of the people. This is some delicious stuff. It's super cool. If you guys were in Orlando and got a chance to be around me in Orlando at IAPA, you guys are well aware of the fact that I was probably drinking tequila either at that time, soon after that time, or right before that time. It was a good time in Orlando, and it was great to meet all the people. But tequila has kind of just become my favorite freaking thing. So this tequila is actually the world's first ever crowd-sourced tequila. What the hell does that mean? So basically, you can go and get a tasting kit from their website, and it comes with 4 of these little bottles. This is the only one I got left. So this is L. This is L. So there's a T, a D, an L, and a G. T was my favorite. It was gone very quickly. The only one I got left is L, so that is what I'm drinking tonight. But basically, it comes with this badass kit, and then you sip the 4 different tequilas, and then you get to go on their website and actually vote for the one that you like the best. And then that is the tequila that they're going to make full scale. They're going to make it into the big bottle and market that thing full scale. All right. They also recently just launched their own custom engineered tequila tasting glasses. I don't have mine yet. I really wanted to have it so I could be sipping it out of the glass, but it was literally engineered to sip tequila out of. I'm super excited to get mine in. Okay. If you guys want to check out Tequilla de la Gente, go to their website, tequiladelagente.com, and you guys can go there, check out their stuff. And then they have a Black Friday deal right now where if you buy the kit, if you buy the tasting kit, you actually get 2 free tequila tasting glasses when you buy it. And super extra special bonus, if you use promo code Glassett, my last name, at checkout, you're going to get free shipping. So as I said, T was my favorite, and it's been gone for a long time. So that's why I'm sipping L tonight. L is still delicious. Hopefully a little bit later in the show, I'll tell you the story of how the hell I linked up with these guys and give you a little bit of a backstory there. All right, so before we jump into the show, I also want to take a second to mention Foam Universe. I'm just good buddies with all of the great folks at Foam Daddy. They're so they put on the only foam party convention that there is. Okay. And they happen to be the best foam party company that there is. So if you guys are interested in that, go to foamdaddy.com, or Lawrence just dropped it in the Zoom. There's the link in the Zoom. And for those of you on the podcast or on YouTube, we'll put it in the description, of course. And you guys can go check out Foam Universe. It is in New Orleans, so it's in my backyard, January 14th, 15th, and 16th. And then I'm actually slated to be one of the keynote speakers. So I'd love to see your guys' face in New Orleans, January 14th through 16th. Be super awesome. So go check out Foam Universe. Okay, so that's the booze. What's the biz? So this week I want to talk. So I really like to talk about things that I'm passionate about. And most of the things that I like to talk about are not things that I've mastered. They're things that I've either struggled through or I'm currently overcoming. Tonight's is definitely the latter. All right. It's something that happened to me kind of recently and was a great lesson, and I think has a lot of value in it for a lot of people for a bunch of different reasons. So, Brody, you just dropped off the package for me? That's your dance stuff. Okay, got it. I'll put that in the car. I got to take her to dance tomorrow. But yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, this is one of those things that kind of smacked me in the face, is actually on November 20th that it smacked me in the face, okay? That subject is, when in the world is it the time for you to stop being the best worker on your crew and instead start being the leader, aka the CEO, so you can lead the team and lead the business where it needs to go? So that, in my opinion, is a very tricky question, because so much of the answer is going to be dependent on what your ambition is. Now, I do think it sounds super sexy to say that your business broke all these records and got 8 new 5-star Google reviews, all while you were sipping tequila on the beach in Mexico. Okay. Now, that is super cool, but we got to work backwards from that and say, would you want to stop working, or should you stop working on the business so you can lead? So in my opinion, the answer to that question is kind of simple, actually. You can just ask yourself, just look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is it about the business that stresses you out? What causes you the most stress? And for me, that stress comes from not having enough time to do things that I need to do and or want to do. And I use the word want to do, or the phrase want to do, from a business standpoint. I'm not talking about I want to, go on vacations. I'm talking about other things in the business that I want to do. Okay. So as of right now, I currently own 3 businesses outright. I co-own 2 others. And then I have whatever this is, right? This content creator, video making, whatever career as it is, right? And so for me, though, it is pretty well documented that my ambition is to take over the world. So I want to do everything. I see opportunities and I go exploit them. I see places in the market where I could go fit in or fulfill a need, and I just can't stop going to those places. Okay. So it makes sense for me to have having those ambitions, that I want to offload as much of the operational stuff as I possibly can, so it will create the freedom for me to go work on the new project or new ideas that I have. So, or do crazy shit like start daily vlogging. All right. The new episodes are coming. It was kind of a backlog because I was doing the wrong things up until November 20th. All right. There, however, will be others out there that the thought of them not being there when their customers are being waited on or greeted, or just their customers not being treated the way they want them to, that is what stresses them out. Having the operations being done incorrectly to whatever degree, okay, or having the operations be done carelessly, or the employees wasting time, burning the time clock at the red light that they hit on purpose to run up the time clock, that stuff stresses them out, okay? That personality should probably make it a goal to have all the things they need to do to not feel, they need to take the actions to not feel the stress, okay? So, but for me, like I said, it's kind of totally backwards. So if I see something, I have to go after it and I have to take action. And when I can't take action on something that I see as an opportunity is when I start to feel the pressure, okay? If I'm too busy, aka stressed, to go shoot videos, it just stresses me out more. If you, so you guys you just have to look inward to get the answer to where is it the right thing for you to chase to be able to step away from the business and be the leader of the team versus be in the trenches with the team. Okay. For me, driving a delivery truck is just not a proper use of my time. Okay. It just isn't. For you, it might be. You just have to figure that out. So that kind of answers, in my opinion, that answers the question of how you figure out if you want to do it. Now, it all sounds great. Like everything I just said was hopefully pretty good. It's been a while since I've done a show, so I probably kicked a few words there, but you kind of get the gist of it, right? Now, how do you from there create the ability to be able to step away? Okay, that's probably like a whole episode in and of its own, of like team building and everything. That's actually what my keynote speech at Foam Universe is going to be on, is team building, hiring, interviewing, training, motivation, inspiration, delegation, all the fun words there. But in a nutshell, you've got to be able to figure out what you want to do, and from there you work towards it. And that is going to be something that is challenging in of its own, because as you guys all know, hiring isn't easy, and taking on new employees isn't easy. Finding the right employees isn't easy. It's a very intricate process to do all of that stuff. But I would be interested to hear from some of you guys, and whether you want to do it in the chat or you guys want to unmute. I would love to hear from some of you guys of what your ambitions actually are. It's a conversation I've never really ever embarked on until tonight. And I think it's something that it's a niche, I think, that I can really bring a lot of value for people, because it's something that, like I said, I've struggled through and I've figured out to a pretty good degree to this point. But what is your guys', I'm going to go check on Facebook because I've been totally neglecting Facebook. But what is your guys' ambitions? Like, what do you guys want to do? Or what's your take on it? What is your opinion on it?
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, it's Jay.
What's up, Jay?
Hiya. Well, I have a full-time day job right now that I'm currently working. My ambitions, goals, thoughts in general are just, I want to grow my jump house business. I don't know if you remember me from a few months ago when I had like my first setup. We talked about that whole thing and like how it was kind of wonky. Yeah. So I'm adding to that these next few months. Through my sales job that I have, I work during the day and kick butt at and make commissions at. So literally I'm closing the year really strong. So I'm going to be my goal is to have at least 1 to 2 water slides to walk into next. Cause I'm in the Midwest, I'm in Northwest Indiana, so it's freezing up here. We don't have nice weather that lasts as long as some of you guys in the South.
I don't envy you.
Closes up a little bit earlier. I'm not doing indoor with my you envy me. No, you don't envy me. No, you don't. Okay. So I have my one, just regular jump house, but I'm not doing it in the winter for indoor just because it is just me. I'm not comfortable with you know what I mean? But I want obviously to grow in that direction. I want to grow a team. It's just me right now. But for walking into next year, into the warm weather, when it starts getting warmer, is having 1 to 2 water slides, and then I wanted to get at least 1 foam cannon from Foam Daddy and kickstart that as well.
Yeah. So, okay, let me ask you the question then. So, do you want to continue the solo route through next year? Generally speaking, water slides, right? Water slides,
at least one person.
Yeah, water slides are usually not a one man. I mean, they can be a one man show. We've, anybody that's got years under their belt has definitely done a one-man show, the water slide.
Yeah.
But it's usually not pleasant. And the way I like to describe it is that if you're going to go pick up a water slide with one guy, like if I'm going to go pick up an 18-foot water slide alone, I can go do that, no big deal. Unless I get there and it's flooded or the mud is this deep, like there's variables, right?
Yep.
Do you have an employee, a potential employee that you've talked to? Have you networked, interviewed?
No, the short answer is no, but I do have a really great, strong network of people, of entrepreneurs. I have really close friends. They start their own business. They have really great resources and people that they know, and they have all boys and sons that are grown, and they would probably like a summer job type. So like, I'm not necessarily worried too much about it because I have good resources that have really good referral type things. I haven't started it yet. I guess what I'm ultimately waiting for to do is actually purchase it and then get that ball rolling. Cause it's like, for me, it's like, it's not anything until there's ink on the paper, you know, I'm in sales. So it's like, until you get it, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I can't make that next step to plan for somebody. I mean, I guess looking around is one thing. I mean, I watched your interview video. So I know that the rule of thumb is like always interview. You never know. But I guess I feel like right now, because I'm such a rookie still in the beginning, I'm like, I feel like I can't make that next step until I purchased it. I signed the dotted line. It's fully paid. It's on its way.
The doing interviews constantly, really, really, really honest to God, is the secret. Like, because you
Yeah.
can't get better at interviews without doing interviews. And then you
Right.
can't have a guy to hire or gal to hire if you haven't met them.
Right.
That being said, that is probably one of the first things to go when I get occupied, when I get busy. Like, I'm good. I'm free flowing. Like, when we get to February, March, right? I'll be just doing all sorts of fun stuff. Tons of interviews. I'll be making tons of videos. Then you start getting into May, and anybody that's got a big rental company knows that May is usually when it starts to get haywire. Might be a little later for you because your weather's not as warm as ours down here.
Yeah.
But May is when you start having graduation parties, school events, and then the weather turns so where you can rent water slides and you can rent bounce houses, right? So like
Yeah.
your whole inventory goes. And so at that point in time is like when I need guys the most, but that's also when I start to just be so occupied that that interview piece, that interview wisdom of always doing interviews starts to kind of shrink. Like,
Right.
and I have the same kind of cadence in the Christmas slide industry. Basically starting at the beginning of October for me. The guys aren't hanging lights like crazy, obviously, till November, but I'm busy prepping and doing all sorts of stuff. So it's like, I mean, I've only done, I think, 3 interviews in the last 2 months, something like that. Yeah, I mean, and so it's one of those things, if you keep it top of mind, you'll be able to be on top of the ball constantly. And one of the secrets of that little thing that I even mentioned is as you do interviews, the current employees see that and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, I want the more hours. I want, right? And so it helps you elevate the current team that you have, even if you don't hire any of these people. But you're going to just by nature, like you go do a good interview, by nature, you're going to go tell your good workers, like, dude, I love this guy and this is why. And I don't know if he fits on the team because I don't know if we have the hours, but I'd love to bring him on. And they're very conflicted. And it's not like I'm not trying to like gaslight them by doing that, right? It's like, I need to tell somebody. My wife can only hear about so many interviews. So I want to share with them how I want to build the team or who I met. And it does help accidentally elevate them because they don't want to be replaced. And you're still building the team. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
But yeah,
think
what I would do.
I think being,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, even just being confronted, I think with the question helps me realize like just start. Like there's no harm in just starting, and then I can meet him at a Starbucks on a Saturday afternoon, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever,
And
and
you're
just
just
interview
like,
them.
you're just gonna sell the dream. Like,
Yeah.
right? I can sit in an interview and talk numbers and 2 different businesses they can work for and blah, 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 blah. You don't have that, but you do have big ambitions, right? You've got an outgoing personality. You can just pay for their Starbucks to like kind of be like, look, this is what you can expect. And,
Yeah.
and you may just find that kid that's just super gung ho and ready to roll.
Yeah.
And you may love him so much. You say, look, just come over to the house. We'll set it up in the garage and I'll just teach you how to roll it and
Right.
get you ready. You don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah. I gotta get accessories from you. That's on my list too, is get the roll-ups. That's what I call them. The fruit roll-ups. The
Well,
the
great.
proper one to roll up my bounce houses. I still have to properly put the one that I have in the bag and seal up. So, because I know it was a friend, not here, not from the group, but a different friend that realized, oh, you opened a bounce house business, cool. Here's some advice. In the winter, make sure you seal it airtight in something, because mice or whatever, I don't know, like, can eat through it. So
There's
all kinds of fun little details that save you.
yeah, there's posts probably once a week of somebody that got mice ate their shit. Probably not right now. Like you won't see them right now. You don't see them until they start getting their units out. But in the spring, you'll see one a week. Mice ate their bounce house over and over and over and over and over and over.
What do you recommend for that? Because I have a bag that I can put it in, and then it seals. It won't, like, it doesn't seal all the way around. It's just one of those bags, and then you can string, like, it's like a rope. You just tighten it.
Oh
But
yeah.
so what do you recommend for
I've
that?
always, and I don't know, like if this is the wisdom piece, but this is like what I've always done, and knock on wood, have never had issues. I never stored them on the concrete. So when they were in my garage, I
Okay.
had, I may have had them on the, like, I think I had rugs in the garage. It's hard to remember, but as soon as I moved to a storage unit, so I moved out of the garage and moved to 2 storage units, they were all, I had pallets that lined the walls, and they
Yeah.
all were, we used to stand them up, but they'd always be
Yeah.
on pallets off the ground. Not that a mouse couldn't like figure
Go
out how
up.
to
Yeah.
get up there, but like the mouse is gonna run down the wall. Uh,
Yep.
yeah, the mouse is gonna run down the wall, and it's just gonna be a little wooden cave. They're not gonna think to burrow. Like they have to really go out of their way. And
Yeah.
now same thing. Like in my warehouse now, like there's like a little, not a field, but like a big ditch behind it. I know there's mice in my
Yeah.
warehouse. I know there's, and so everything's on a pallet, so
Okay.
nothing touches the ground.
Question, since with your warehouses, how many jump houses, when did you start getting a warehouse? Like at what, like, because I mean I have a regular size garage, 2-car garage, but like at what point did you?
I was too late, but only because of where I live. There's the industrial areas are just far away. The good cheap ones are far away, and the close one, there's one. And so
Yeah.
suffered through 2 storage units for way too long. But
Gotcha.
I kind of had no choice, right? And then the other thing about there not being a lot of real estate, industrial real estate around me, it's expensive where I want to open. So
Yeah.
I couldn't have afforded to move. I actually toured the next, where I am at now. I toured the next door in like January of 21, probably. Might have been January of 22, but I think it was January of 21. Yeah, it was. And it was $1,500 a month. And
Whoa.
like I did the math times 12. I'm like, holy shit. So I was trying to talk my wife into opening a salon in the office so I could have the warehouse, but she didn't go for it. And then we ended up doing so well that year. I definitely could have afforded it, but we were coming out of 2020, and it was kind of like, dude, it was like, who knows
Yeah.
what's 21, right?
Yep.
And so then once 21 got rolling is when all the businesses coming out of COVID got rolling, and there was nothing available anywhere. And then,
Right.
yeah, I finally got a 1,200 square foot spot that was way too small. Still had to have some storages, like, and we'd switch like all the water slides over here in winter. And then when you get to summer, you'd switch them. It was a pain in the ass. It was better than nothing. And then I literally just kept looking, like it all in my area. Like I would literally go by and look in the windows. And there was one that looked like nobody was ever in there. There was like office shit in there, but it was like crappy. And so I texted the real estate agent that I'd spoke to in 2021. And I took like 3 text messages for him to finally text me back. And then he's like, well, I've got one, but he called me. He's like, I got one, but bro, it's going to be out of your price range. I'm like, hit me. He's like, it's going to be $2,300 a month, like for a bounce house business. I said, I'll take it. When can I see it? I'll take it. I'll take it. He was like, oh, fuck, really? Yeah. And so then that's where we're at now. So we have
Okay.
2 of the one. So the one next door that I viewed as 1,500 square feet, we have 2 that are combined in one now.
Okay.
But you just got to be able to afford it. But
Yeah.
the second you can afford it, move into a warehouse. The second you can afford it,
Okay.
unless
Yeah.
you have 4 acres at your house or something, crazy like that.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm a very big proponent of if the other part of this too is, like I said in the beginning, I want to scale and take over the world. So you can't take over the world out of storage units. You just can't. But if you want to have your business be 20 units, 30 units, I mean, shit, you could probably even run 50 units probably out of storages, kind of depending on the storages, and that's what the size you want it to be, and it's going to afford you the money to maybe maybe you still work a job, right? A million different variables. So my advice kind of comes from a place of like, if you want to scale to become the biggest in your area and potentially open another location, whatever, if you want to get big, that's what I'm talking about. If you want to get big, if you don't want to get big, it's probably a better idea to not have to incur that big expense, unless of course, you know, you can afford it, because it makes your life so much easier. But it comes with, I mean, you got to buy a pallet racking, you got to buy a forklift, and you got to buy all sorts of shit when you get a warehouse. It's a whole new animal.
Well, in a warehouse, you have versus a storage unit. You can actually have space in the tall ceiling to actually open up and clean it the way you need to, and
yep,
not do it outside of a storage unit and all those different variables.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Okay.
Good questions.
Thanks.
Dude, Adair said he's coming down to New Orleans and he's wearing his jump off shirt.
I'll go next.
Yeah, what's up, Jeffrey?
We're just saying, what are our plans for the future?
Yeah.
Into this right now about 6 weeks. And so far I've figured out that I'm wanting to expand my Happy Days brand. Not sure exactly where I want to go with that. But I've decided I want to go with a party rentals division and then an event rentals division, which essentially has the same setup, but marketing differently. Then about 3 days ago, I had this wild idea of how to build a new inflatable with water conservation in mind. So I'm trying to work on that design as if I have any kind of engineering idea. So apparently I'm working on inflatable manufacturing in the future also.
Manufacturing is interesting. It's not something that I have ambitions to get into pretty much at all. Like, it's just, I've seen behind the scenes of what goes into it, and I'm like, yep, that doesn't fit my personality. Like the back and forth details, like minute little details. I'm like, no, that's not my personality. Like, I'm good with details, you know, to an extent, but like the manufacturing side, it's just like, no thanks. I don't want to do that. But if you have the personality, it's right. That's me saying that. It's not a bad thing. There's some manufacturers out there. Actually, the manufacturing right now is the most exciting I've ever seen it. I've been in the business since 2019. It's the most exciting I've ever seen it. And there's people, you know, really push it, like Matt at Big and Bright Inflatables is just pushing the envelope of design. Like every time he manufactures a line, it's got a new thing, it's got a new feature, it's got a new idea, he just keeps going and just pushing the envelope. And you know, he's still a small manufacturer, but even the big dogs, you know, I thought last year the show at IAPA, you saw Easy had their big robot, well, it wasn't that big, but their robot slide, it's like glitter, and it was just like kind of like a showstopper. And then the designs that Jump Orange had last year were like out of this world cool. Whereas this year at IAPA, it was kind of like I felt like it was a refresh of last year, minus a couple different manufacturers. I think Evan at Eye Candy does some really cool stuff too. That kind of pushes things. Like this year, he had the log cabin that I totally fucking missed. And then someone's like, you didn't see the log cabin? So I like made a plan to go see the log cabin. But it was really cool. But I think the manufacturing right now is, you know, last year at IAPA was very flashy design heavy. This year it's almost more features driven. It's really cool where it's going, I think.
I think I have a solution for some of the scaling issues that people may have as far as getting help. Actually stumbled on this one. I was talking to just my family about something that I may want to do in the future as far as getting help. And my oldest kid is a teacher at a special needs school where they teach the young adults job skills and marketing. And she has put me in touch with the director who runs a program through the entire Central Florida area. So when you get children on the autism spectrum who are completely functional, but maybe just have some communication issues and have a hard time finding a job, that when companies will help them out, I was thinking, okay, well, I've got to figure out how to, pay somebody for this. And I started to discuss that. And my kid goes, oh no, this program pays for all their insurance and pays for their salary. All they want you to do is give them the work.
No way.
I've got an email into the director right now. I'm hoping to have some kind of a Zoom meeting with her tomorrow or the next day and figure out how to interview or get interviewed for this program or whatever. And my question is now, if I have a helper who is pretty much just an extra set of hands during the operation, about how many units do you expect that a normal operator could put up in a day? 8, 10,
Yeah,
12?
It depends on how you run the business. So when you're on the smaller side, a lot of times, at least around here especially, but when you're on the smaller side, a lot of times they'll do Friday to Sunday rentals. So we drop everything off Saturday morning. It's just an easier way to run the business when you're a little bit bigger scale. But when you're small, you're going to have a busy weekend where you're going to have, a lot of your stuff rented out. Let's say you have 12. It's pretty impossible for one truck to drop 12 units on Saturday morning and make it to the last 3 on time, right? Because you're going to start dropping units. I mean, you could start at 5 a.m. if you wanted to, but you're going to start dropping units probably at 7. So you'll load your truck at 6. By the time you drop, 7, you're getting pretty close to noon. 8, you're past noon. So you just can't make it in time for the parties, generally speaking. So it's a wise thing to do. You just drop some on Friday and then you drop some on Saturday, or F it, just drop them all on Friday. So back when the jump off was much smaller, I would drop on Fridays. I dropped everything on Fridays. I did it all by myself, literally alone, just me. And I would go drop, like, there was one day I dropped like 14 or something like that.
Wow.
And it's hard, but drop offs aren't that hard. I had a manual dolly, so I had to push the dolly through the grass, but really that's really the only like physical part of it. But I mean, it's a long ass day, but like it was a good time, dude. I'm just in the truck jamming out. I used to record on my stories. Like I don't think I had a YouTube channel back then. I would just record on my stories what I was doing, what happened on that last drop. It was a lot of fun. And then, but once I was like, all right, I really want to get dead serious about this. Then that's when I got inflatable office rental software and had the ability to keep everything a lot more organized than my goofy old, pen and paper system. And that's where I made the decision that we're going to start dropping Saturday morning, just be a real deal rental company, even though we weren't big enough to be one yet. And making that switch really, really, really helped drive the scale of the business, because you start to operate like a real business, you kind of start to become one, as long as you're doing the right things with team building and marketing and all those things. But you start to have the need for a second crew really fast. So, I mean, I'm talking, I had probably 20 something units, low 20s, 22, something like that, and needed 2 trucks to drop everything on Saturday. Like it couldn't be done during the busy season with 1 truck. So
now, once you got serious about running the business, about how long did it take you to get to that scale?
So I had a lot of opportunities that came my way that were lucky, right? But like, you could argue I created the luck. So, I mean, I was like a side hustler with 12 units, because I was able to buy 9 units and an enclosed trailer for $2,000 off of humongous company that had 300, 400 units. So I had 12, like I don't even want to do this very often. Like a rental would come through and be like, good money, but like now I gotta do it, And I had 12 units. And then when COVID hit, my wife had to shut her salon down. So I was like, cool, the only asset that we have now, because I'd already quit my job. I drove Uber and shit while I was trying to start a real business. So the only asset that we had was the bounce houses. So then that's when I started to become serious about making money with the bounce houses. And from there is when I kind of started to fall in love with it. Will you do me a favor and just close the door? Thank you. that's where I kind of started to fall in love with it. And I really started to do the best I could to buy more and buy more. 2020 was hard to buy anything. 21 was hard to buy anything as well. But I got myself to about 22-ish units and kind of just looked at the garage that was fucking full and just looked at the garage and was like, I kind of have a decision to make here. Like, I still run this like the side hustle, even though I'm making, I was making like $2,500 a week, something like that. But I still ran it like a side hustle. And so that's kind of where I was like, I need to invest in this, and because this is what I want to do. Like, it was kind of just like this is weird to say, but I want to go be the bounce house guy, and I think I can go crush everybody. And so from that point forward, I had a lot of used units that I had to sell. So I'd sell 2 used ones and buy 1 new one. So I kind of stayed at 20 for a long time because I had to upgrade all the crappy ones that I had. And then once I got to about that same number, like that 20-ish number with mostly good units, from there, it grew very quick. I mean, we were at 30 in no time, and then we were at 50, and then now we're at 65. And it's just like, you do a good job at just and run it like a real business, it just will grow like crazy. And your market size matters, right? My market size isn't very big. So I have one main competitor that's about the same size as me, and we both operate in the area. And so if he were to leave, I could double the size of my business. But now where I sit, there's not a ton of opportunity to scale just because he takes up, Jake takes up a good portion of the market share. So the number I'm at now of 65 is about right for my current situation where I live.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll go fast. Like, it'll go fast if you do a good job.
Working on it.
Hey, can I jump in for a
Yeah,
second?
what's up, Mark?
To Jeffrey, you were talking about you were coming up with a water conservation system for a water slide. Is that kind of like the same thing as a water reclamation, not using consistent water, like pumping the water back up to the top instead of having a water hose running on it? Can you explain what you were?
It was going to have a water pump system. I saw a design that was very similar to what I was thinking about that was on YouTube. I just happened to say, let me see if anybody else has come up with this. And let's say it was a manufacturer out of China, and their system was a closed system that only used 20 gallons. How it pumped up, I didn't really look into it too much. But mine would have more of a outside water pump that would electric.
The reason
That
why
would
I
have
was
to pump the
asking
water
that,
back up.
the reason why I was asking that is because I've actually been a part of designing about 22 inflatables now. And I know that there is someone, I believe he's in California, that has a patent recirculation for water slides that never took off. You might want to look into that a little bit just to make sure you don't do something and then somebody comes knocking on your door going, hey, that's my idea, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Like, there's a lot of companies that are doing, well, Jump Orange for a fact. I know them for a fact. On the front of the pools, there's a hole on their wall. That's for the tube to go in there to recirculate water if needed back up to the top if you have that system, etc. None of their slides have that system. I'm not saying they do, but that's what that hole would be used for. And that was because back, I want to say 8 years ago, California went through a drought where they were mandating nobody could use water out of the parks. And so that's where the water recirculation thing came up. I want to say it was Superior Inflatables that did it, but I could be totally wrong on that, but I think it might have been Richard that did it. So you might it wouldn't even hurt, just check. It's Richard Geramino or Geramino. I don't know how to say his last name. But he owns Superior Inflatables. You might want to just check with him to see if, pick his brain and just see if he has anything like that and see what he tells you. He may say no, he doesn't, then I got the wrong person. But I think it was Richard. I think it was him for Superior Inflatables. And he's up in Northern California, I believe. So I'm just telling you, just so you don't do something, come up with an idea, do something, and then all of a sudden,
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Dillweeds knocking on your door, threatening you, blah, blah, blah. You don't need none of that crap. So
No, I don't know what mistakes I'm going to be making, so please help me not make them.
No, that's the best way to learn, is make your mistakes. Be honest, in my opinion, old school. Learn from
enough.
mistake, you know, but that is a big mistake. But I know there is something about that, so you might want to look into that just to, you know, so you don't get in trouble. That's all.
No, thank you. Thank
That
you.
was all I
Appreciate
was
it.
wanting to tell you. And actually, if you want to private message me on Facebook so I have a connection with you, I'll drop a line to Richard. I'm a good friends with him, and I'll just ask him, just say, hey, did you ever do anything with that system? And see what he tells me. He may say, we ended it, we didn't do it, and I'll just pass on the information to you, whatever he tells me.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Thank you.
But I won't tell him that somebody else was talking about it. He's not in these groups, so you ain't got to worry about that at all either. So,
Gotcha. No, I appreciate that. I'll certainly message you.
yeah, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll do that. I'll drop him a message and ask him and see what he says to me.
Will do.
All right.
I just want to throw my 2 cents in there for that pump. I think you could probably use an RV pump to recycle that water. So you might want to research that. They're really cheap. They're only like $95, and they have the PSI. It pushes it up to about 40 PSI, and it will do like a 1.5 gallons or 1.6 gallons per minute. So
Thank you.
And
That's
yeah.
amazing. Really, thank you.
Yeah, that's true what Paul was saying too. But you also want to look into recirculating water out of a swimming pool that all these kids are going into. I would think a filtration of some sort is going to be a necessity, because, you know, there's always
Yeah.
little Johnny or little Susie going to take a little piss in there, and, you know, you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? There's always something that could get in the water. You don't want to be recirculating whatever, you know. But
Yeah,
I think the first step is to make sure nobody has a patent on that, because I know there was something that was designed. I'm pretty sure it was Richard, but I'll find that out for you and I'll let you know.
Thank you again.
Just to make sure there wasn't a patent of some sort, you know. The Chinese don't give a shit. They're going to copy it anyways. Matter of fact, I'm going to send a message while we're on the meeting right now.
I apologize if you can hear all the barking in the background.
My dogs heard your dogs. They
They-
got up. I was like, please don't start barking.
I've got 10 of them here, and one of them is always barking about something.
You have 10
So,
dogs.
Yeah, we pretty much run a rescue, but we
I love that.
rescue.
I love that. I have, mine are all rescues, all my cats and dogs. I'm getting up there close to 10.
Yeah, we have the very first one that we got was we got it from a store, and ever since then we went straight rescue route. Or actually, our last one that we got was off the street. Somebody knew that we had a bunch of dogs, and somebody dropped a dog off on the street. Dude picked him up, brought him to us. We got a new dog.
That's awesome. Way to go.
So more people than me rescue animals, huh? I currently got 5 rescued dogs in our house.
Outstanding.
I think we're on like 26 total, and we've kept them all until they died.
Great.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs and several cats. I'm getting 1 more kitten and then I'm done. That's it. About to get the next kitten.
This one right here, this little guy right here, we found him. He was 2.65 pounds, broken
He's so
ribs.
cute.
His tail is still messed up from being broken.
He's adorable.
He stays on my desk. He sleeps on my desk.
That is awesome.
That's my smallest one. And then we got
Sorry,
three
Sorry, Nick,
above
we're going to take
100 pounds.
over. We're talking about pets now.
Yeah, so yeah, like go back to the booze thing. I just send them the message. So if I get an answer, I'll let you know before the meeting's over. If not, send me a message on Facebook.
I will do that. Thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to say one thing about the hiring and all that. You know, sometimes it's so hard for small businesses to make that leap because they're always so afraid that the person that they're going to hire isn't going to do as good a job as what they can. Well, newsflash, they'll never do exactly what you can do. For you know, and you have to get rid of that thought and quit worrying about that. And you have to train the right person and do if they can do 85% of what you can do, then you have to do that. But you can't be frozen and not hire anybody because you're too scared that they're not going to do as good a job as what they can. And then on the flip side of that is when you do hire somebody and it puts that extra pressure on you to make it work and push it so they do have enough work and do have enough hours. It puts a little pressure on you, puts you up against the wall, and that's when, you know, the cream rises to the top. Are you going to rise to the occasion or what? And most of the time when you put, you know, everyone's an entrepreneur and you put a little pressure on yourself, and most of the time you can come through it and make it work. But until you do that, put a little pressure, you can really make some interesting things happen. So I just wanted to say that, and I think you know, people can just do some really good things if they believe in themselves and not really worry about if someone is going to do exactly the same job as what you do. So those are my 2 cents.
Nick, you're muted.
She's talking, so I'm trying to go back and forth here. But yeah, that's I think that's a great point. And if you can get 85% of what you can do, oh boy, you give that guy a piece of the company, because 85% of what you can do is a lot. I always said 80. Like if I get 80, I'm like over the moon, because you can do everything. I mean, you started the business with your, you know, you made it up. You just made up a name and made up a logo and just created something out of thin air that all of a sudden people are going to come and pay you, you know, good money for. If you get somebody that's operates at any level close to what you can do, you gotta pay that person. You've got to keep that person, because that is absolutely monumental.
Yeah.
And then the other point that you made too, I think you're spot on, and I've never actually thought about it. Once I did hire, and then now that really actually is my motivation to try and grow, is I've got to keep them busy, because you get a good guy that's going to start working for you, and you're like, shit, he's good, and I can only give him 20 hours a week, or I can only give him, like, I've got to land more jobs. I've got to be more aggressive in marketing. I've got to do something so I can get busier, so I can keep him around, because he's making my life so much easier. And then that was kind of what hit me in the face on November 20th. So we're doing a big job. It's a reinstall, and we got to wrap 2 oak trees. They still get about 30 strands of lights per oak tree. So they're still pretty big job. I mean, we were there, I think, for 5 or 6 hours, and I didn't leave the trees personally, because that's like the hard part of the job. And while I'm wrapping these trees and trying to get, it's an art wrapping trees. So I'm trying to get everything right and do it all right and get the hard parts done so the guys can start to get the branches, whatever. My phone is ringing like crazy because the office is calling me, because customers with Christmas lights are kind of crazy, right? So they're calling and requesting all this wild stuff that they're asking if we can do. And they've got these questions that Cassie realistically can't answer. Meanwhile, she's trying to, do the estimates that are coming through, like the proper regular estimates. She's trying to do those and getting distracted by the phone. And then I'm out almost getting in my employee's way. Like, I always thought, for Christmas light installation, I always thought that I was a vital team member to have on site, because I can help design this, or I can help speed this up. And I pay the guys a lot of, they make a very high hourly rate at the Christmas light company, right? So if I can be on site, I'm thinking I can speed the job up, I can make things more efficient, you know, I can make sure payroll stays under control. But I almost start to become their crutch, and I'm in their way. They're going to go do something that the way they're doing it will be adequate, right? It'll work. It'll be just fine. But I would do it differently. So I go, oh, you're going to do it that way? I would have done it this way. And then I got to think, and then I go, the way you're doing it's fine. It's fine. Right. And then they start second guessing themselves. So then what do? Every time they have to do something small, they're coming to check with me because they know I'm going to have an opinion. And so I stop what I'm doing. I go over and I render an opinion on something that's realistically doesn't matter. And anyways, so I'm wrapping these trees, and like the stress level like is just through the roof. I have a family as well, as you just saw, right? So my wife is calling me and she's trying to log into my son's iCloud and they can't remember his password because I have the password. And so like I'm doing like 78 things. And I left the job site that day not in a good mood. Like I did not set a good example for leadership the whole time we were out there. I was stressed. I was not the person that I want to be. And I came home and started talking to my wife, and they were leaving to go to California. So they're going to California for Thanksgiving. I'm going to stay here because I'm so vital to the company and la, 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 la. And then I pull up the schedule and I look at the schedule and it's not full. Like at the time that we're supposed to be in peak. We're supposed to be in peak and it's not full. And so I'm like, and like, there's this, you can't even describe it unless you've experienced it, but like this feeling that comes over your body, like, oh, fuck, I've been working my face off doing the exact wrong thing. Like I've been doing it all wrong. And like, there's this sense of ownership or this accountability that comes over you where you're like, the business isn't going to succeed to the level it's supposed to succeed because I'm working on the wrong things and I don't have work for the guys. And the guys love this time of year because this is what they want to do. They love, all my guys love running lights. We don't have enough jobs sold. We got this backlog of all these people that haven't said yes. My family's leaving. There's no work for me to even go fucking help with. Right. And so I kind of have this moment where I was just like, to hell with this, dude. I'm booking a flight to come to California the week of Thanksgiving. The tickets cost me $1,000. But I was like, I'm just going to fly to California and I'm switching gears. I'm no longer installing Christmas lights. I'm now going to lead the team so I can help Cassie sell. I told her, stop answering the phone. I will take every single phone call, right? Because she is the office. Like she's the spreadsheets, she's the estimates, she's great at all of that. I'm the salesman. Like the people that are calling the business want to talk to me anyway. They're just getting in her way. So she can't do the job she's good at. And she can't do a great job answering the phone because she doesn't install Christmas lights. She doesn't know the answer to these questions, right? So I said the hell with it. I book a flight during what's supposed to be the busiest time for a Christmas light installation company to go to California. And then I spent the time in California with my family, but I did split. I worked a ton. And the second I sit down at the computer and start going through messages, following up with people, doing, being a salesman. I mean, I sold $6,000 worth of installs to 2 people in 20 minutes and filled up the entire calendar that had one name on it. I filled the entire calendar up to where we're doing close to 10K a day. This whole entire week, we're doing close to 10K a day. And those are almost all exclusively jobs that I sold from California. And so I kind of take a step back, and I've already done a good job of this at the jump off, right? I've already done a good job of this at the inflatable rental company. I'm not a delivery driver anymore. I don't do that kind of stuff. I just support the team everywhere. But I did a terrible job of it at the Christmas light business. And as soon at like the minute that I switched gears, I was at the airport closing big jobs at the airport, like with my laptop in my lap, like going through, what's your address? Yep. Okay. It'll be about this much, and it was a very eye-opening situation to where I was just like, done. I'm done. I'm now the fucking CEO. I'm not an installer anymore because I cannot be on site and do the job I need to do. And so then today, the guys went out and did close to 10K worth of installs today, and I did not go. I was in my office the whole day. I had to run some errands and get some, get some more timers, a little bunch of bullshit. But I was in my office the whole day. They went and did, like I said, like a $10,000 worth of installs today out in Baton Rouge. I rented them the man lift. They went and picked up the man lift themselves. Like I did the stuff I was supposed to do. And then today I closed more jobs. I made more phone calls. I made more, and it was just kind of one of those situations where it's like, yeah, I just feel like I probably missed out Let's Get Lit probably missed out on $100,000 worth of sales, right? I'm being aggressive because I'm passionate about this right now. So maybe it's less, but we missed out on tons of sales, tons of work the guys could have done because I wasn't paying attention to the right things. So that's kind of where, and look, Isaiah's in the chat. The house they did today is Isaiah's picture. That's funny. But it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, it's time to take the step back, quit installing. I'll go on site on huge jobs that I need that the guys need me on, but today kind of proves that there's not a lot of those.
Yo, Nick.
Yep.
Me and Roman's job for tomorrow. It like when you look up the lady in Jobber, there's like no information, like there's no quote, no request, no work, no anything. Under work, it says none.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just
what's her name?
Whatever.
Oh, Kristen.
Kristen, yes, that's it.
Okay, yeah, she moved. She's a reinstall, but she moved.
Okay. You want us to throw the reinstall bin on our house and just make it fit, or just make it brand new?
Yeah, you're gonna. Yes, no minis though.
Okay.
It'll be groundwork.
Well, that was it.
And her bin should fit her house pretty well. Like there should be a little teeny tiny bit of leftover, but you know the drill. Take a little bit extra and blah blah blah. You know the drill.
Yeah, I just didn't know like I didn't know anything because they didn't say anything under the work tab, so I just wanted to make sure.
Check the messages with her. Her new address should be in there. It's a Covington address.
Okay.
Because she used to be in Ponchatoula, I think.
Nick.
Yeah.
In addition to my ambitions and my goals, I want to take over the world with jump houses and Christmas lights too. Next year I want to do the Christmas lights. I keep like feeling on edge with it, but like as I'm like me on a roof, I can't tell you how many times I look at my own house when I go outside and I'm like, I could probably go practice with that tree up front, or go on top of my own roof and just practice. And
you'd be surprised how often you're actually not on the roof. Yeah, because most of everything, like if you look at Isaiah's profile picture, that's the house they did today. And they did do the roof line. There's a shitload of lights on that house, so it's hard to like kind of see it, but they did do the roof line, but they did that from the ladder. The only time you have to get on the roof is there's really two situations where you got to get like on the roof. Number one, if they have a dormer window. So that's like the roof is like this, and then it's got that window that sticks out.
Yeah.
You got to get up there and do that. And that can be a little bit challenging in the beginning, and it's very uncomfortable, and you kind of got to overcome those fears. That's a job where I suggest you take it and overcome the fears. And there is tools that can get you there safely, and you'll feel very comfortable. If you go to, I don't know if I posted it on TikTok or Instagram or both, but there's a video I shot doing a dormer window with what's called the goat steep assist. We call it the goat hook. It's a hook that goes up to the roof and it's like a ladder that comes down the roof. So like you literally like climb up the ladder. It's super easy. And then there's another tool called the pitch hopper. I know I have a video on TikTok or Reels or both.
I think I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a foam wedge thing. Those two tools will change your life doing dormer windows, and you'll be very comfortable. You'll have no problems at all. The other situation where you got to get on the roof is if they want the whole roof lit. Okay, so the lines that go up the roof this way are called the hips, and the lines that go straight across are called the ridges. But we just, for short, we just call them ridges. But if they want the ridges done, I mean, you have to walk the entire roof and clip the shingles all the way up the roof. So if one of those jobs comes through, you can just not take it, right? You can just say no. Now, if they want the hips and ridges, those are the big jobs. Like, you can't light a house. Kind of depends on where you live. Around here, you can't light a house doing the hips and ridges for less than $2,500, and they're usually north of $3,000. So saying no to that would kill you, right? Like,
Yeah.
but if you don't want to get on the roof, you just refer it to another company or whatever. For me, when I started installing, there's a house. This is a funny story. There's a house I did in 2019, first year I ever installed lights. It was just me. I literally borrowed a truck and I borrowed a ladder because I didn't own either of them, and started hanging lights, not knowing what I was doing. And there's a house where the gutter comes across this way, and then it's the entryway, and the entryway is like up here, right? Like this. And so you have to get on this roof and go up to the back corner of the entryway, if that makes sense. And so I just had to kind of like suck it up and go do it. I didn't know any of these tools that I just mentioned. I didn't know existed like in sneakers. And I go up and I hang these lights, and like, I think I'm the bravest human that ever existed. Okay. Not lying. I took a picture of it and made an inspirational Facebook post about how you can overcome anything and you're capable of more than you think. Right. So we still do Miss Debbie's house to this day. Like, she's one of my old clients. And I always go to that install because Debbie, it's in the better interest for the company for Debbie to be able to talk to me for 30 minutes. I didn't touch a single light. I just have to go so Debbie could talk to me about this thing. Do you think this will work? And then, she's retiring soon. Like, that's just her personality.
I get that.
Every year I get to look at this section of the house that is laughable. I would literally, I'm not making this up, I would do it in I would do it in flip-flops now. I've hung lights on my parents' house in flip-flops, and they have a similar setup. But like in 2019, it was the most like, I'm so brave, whatever, And so a lot of those things will start to go away as you hang the lights. And the other thing about the lighting business is it's a lot more, generally speaking, it's a lot more rewarding than an inflatable rental. Now, if you have an employee that adores children, that person probably, that's not the case. But most people aren't like a kindergarten teacher, like by nature, right? So you go set up the inflatable and you stake it down, and then you leave, and there's not a lot of satisfaction that comes with it. When you finish the house, there is this level of pride that you cannot even explain unless
I believe it.
you. And so getting employees for the lighting business is a little bit easier because they go on one job with you and finish it. And right, they go up that part of the roof or whatever situation. They are just beside themselves with pride after they finish the job. So to retain those employees is much easier. And also your profit margins in the Christmas light business are higher. You can pay more. You can pay more, like, and you're not stressed out. Like, if the guys go to a drop off that's whatever, dude, 20 minutes away or 25 minutes away, which happens all the time where we live, and forget the blower, or the blower doesn't work, and they got to go back to the warehouse and back to the house. It's like, dude, that just smoked all the margin in payroll. Whereas that shit happens all the time in the Christmas light business, and it's not that big of a deal because the margins are there to be able to eat that up, right?
Right.
But it's a stress.
I got a story.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
I got a story about the satisfaction. Today was like, I've talked to hundreds of customers working for you in the past 3 years. Today was probably the best. These people, super young couple, they're like 30, 35, and they own the Supper Club. Obviously, you know that. But for anybody listening that doesn't know what that is, it's like a super, super fancy restaurant in Baton Rouge. And so they own the Supper Club. So me and Logan, we go light up the Supper Club. We talk to them a little bit because they're there for a meeting with all their employees, but not too much. They're focused on their meeting, simple job. So we get it done, tell them we're headed to their house, and we meet the other boys at the house and we start lighting their house up. Well, anyway, they come home from their meetings and we're working, talking the whole time, whatever. But then when we finish, like she's just out there with her kids. The kids are, about the lights, all excited about it. And then she starts talking to us. And basically, it ends up, she invited us to go to the supper club, her treat, at a date that she's going to tell us soon. She has my phone number to text me. We're going to take a trip, all of us, to the supper club on their treat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's so pretty.
There's the restaurant that they did today. And so
you guys do the bushes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the bushes.
Very cool.
This is all magnetic Christmas lights. This is all magnets.
What?
That's cool.
All magnetic. And then the other one, there's the house.
Dang.
And so then this, and I'm a doofus. We're hanging garland that goes right here, except for I grabbed the box of wreaths and was like, here's your garland. And then they called me. They're like, you sent us with wreaths, not garland. I'm like, oh, damn it. So the garland will be up. Trevor's going to go hang the garland tomorrow. So there'll be garland across this whole front, which will like top it off. It'll be just beautiful. But like, I mean, Zay, how long did you guys work on this?
Well, today was kind of like a bad day for you, good day for us, because we had like a bunch of downtime waiting on the Christmas tree, guys.
These are like
Trevor and them were waiting on me and Logan because Trevor and them were waiting on me and Logan because Supper Club took way longer than we thought because we didn't know about the minis and they didn't have any ladders. So all they could do was the boxwoods and stuff. But like, honestly, like if nothing would have went wrong, like waiting on people wise, I think we could have done that house. If us, the crew of 5 today or however many it was, I think if we pulled up on that house, all 5 of us, nothing goes wrong. I think we do that in 3 hours, maybe less. Like, because all the money was in the pillars and we were like cranking out those pillars like no tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys worked like Life 360 was going off when you guys got back to the warehouse. I know you guys worked like 13 hours today.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but like the thing that took so long was like the other truck had to go to Zachary, and then we had to do the supper club, which the supper club was a lot of lights. That took me and Logan a long time, like having to snap on all those magnet clips and then having to wrap all those bushes. Me and Logan probably got done with supper club. I'm not even going to give you time because I really have no clue. But look, Trevor and all them really had nothing to do besides send somebody to Zachary after they finished the boxwoods and some of the pillars that they could get to. They had to wait on us with the ladders for like 30, 45 minutes. And then the Christmas tree people were taking forever trying to see where everything was going. It was just, we had a bunch of stuff just didn't go exactly right because the trucks were split up and everything. But it was, I think like if we all would have went to that house first thing, had all the Christmas trees already delivered and everything was sitting in front of us, like hanging the lights wise, I think we could probably do it in under 4 hours.
Yeah, and see, but that's a good lesson though. That's perfect that you said it, and perfect the way you said it, the way you said it. If I would have been on site, right, I would have been able to orchestrate some truck movement and like sped the jobs up because I'd have been able to be like, okay, one of you guys keep clipping lights, the other of you guys come drop off ladders and then go back. I'm good at the logistics and the creativity part of the job, right? So if I would have went with you guys today, it would have gone much, we would have saved what, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, but the jobs I sold today,
maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, but the jobs that I sold today are going to more than make up for the extra payroll, so to speak, where it's like, it doesn't bother me to hear you say that. That's the kind of stuff where it's like, if I'm going to go on site, I need to be able to teach that. And every time I go on site with you guys on a Christmas light install, like I can't keep my hands out of the Christmas lights. Like I want to be hanging. I want to be running cords. I want to be you know? And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I can coach you guys after the fact on that and be like, well, we should have done this, we should have done this, we should have done this, whatever. And it'll make you guys a better, you know, better installers and better help run the company more efficiently. But everything that I did today was more valuable than the hour or two that we could have saved if I'd have been on site. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like any way you cut it, Supper Club was going to take us a good hour and a half because it was like 200 bulbs and a bunch of minis, and with it being all magnets and stuff, and then the awning, like it was a decent job, you know. Supper Club was probably right about 2 hours for just two of us, like any way you cut it, and then the house right at 4 hours. So like, and then we were in Baton Rouge and the traffic was horrible, so that didn't help. So like, we didn't like just have a bunch of time where it was just like, oh, like this is wasted time, but there was some, you know. But days like that are forgivable because like some days like it's just like it's not fair how much it's not fair how much money we made this company today and how fast we did it. You know what I'm saying? There's some days like that where it's like, wow, like we were flying.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Logan and Hunter were out in Baton Rouge and they were back to the warehouse by 3. 2 new installs.
They're gorgeous.
No, they were
gorgeous job. Good job.
They were gone before me and Roman pulled up at 1:30.
Oh shit. Yeah, so that's what I mean, where it's like there's pluses and minuses, right? Give and take.
All right, guys, I gotta go, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night.
I got
Great
something I
meeting
gotta
you.
take care of.
Later, Mark.
Glad I got that information for you, Jeffrey, and
I really appreciate it.
Out anytime. Nick, I'm gonna have the Moon Man Christmas lights for you in a couple of days. So
I'm ready to see these. I need, yeah.
I only got a sneak peek tonight.
Yeah, Marcos sent me pictures. He's out hanging his own Christmas lights, and I was telling him, like, dude, I'm a professional Christmas light installer, so I love to drive by like big, beautiful houses, like, you know, that look great, like we do, or whatever. But there's still nothing more satisfying than driving by a house that the homeowner did it and they did a good job. It's just, I'm
up over 5,000 lights on the house right now. So
incredible.
Yeah, I got about another 8,000-9,000 to go. Maybe done. I got 52 outside outlets on my house, so it should come out looking pretty good this year.
That's insane.
All right, y'all have a good night. Talk to you guys later.
All right, later, Mark.
So question. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Oh,
I was actually curious. What was the big news? I missed it.
Oh, fuck. Brought to you by. So, yeah, so the show now, Booze and Biz, is now sponsored by Tequilla de la Gente, Tequilla the people. So we were out doing reinstalls out in the Baton Rouge area, actually. And I was riding with Hunter and Logan just to kind of like teach Hunter, because this is his first season, and just, it was still early. It was like, I mean, fucking November 3rd, I don't remember. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll just ride with you guys, like just make sure these go smooth, whatever. And we go to start installing lights on Daniel's house. Okay, so this is the 3rd year we've done Daniel's house. I've never met him. I've texted with him, but that's about it. And so we're hanging the lights, and he comes out, and he's like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "What you guys do is so cool. The service is so fucking awesome. Like, whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man? It's good to meet you. Like, I've been chatting with you forever." He's like, "Oh, okay. So you're Nick?" I was like, "Yeah. I'm Nick." And so he's like, "Yeah, man, I've wanted to meet you for a long time. I've just never been here when you guys are hanging the lights." We kind of just start talking, and he's asking questions about how we do business and like some of our marketing or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic. It's Google ads and Facebook ads, you know, for Christmas lights. Facebook wins because you scroll through your feed and see the beautiful house. Like, it usually stops you, even though this year was actually backwards. Google was better for us this year. But, you know, he's like, well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing marketing right now. I'm like, do you own a marketing company, or do you own a company you're doing marketing for? And he says, I own a tequila distillery. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, I fucking love tequila. He's like, do you? And I kind of told him, like, Never drank it my whole life. Started drinking it recently and really been just loving it. Like I don't wake up and feel like shit in the morning if I have 2 drinks. Like it's just incredible. It's like an incredible spirit. You know what I mean? It's great. And he goes, yeah, dude, like that's crazy. Yeah, we have a tequila distillery. I'm like, bro, I literally have a weekly show where we drink and talk about business. It's called Booze and Biz. And I've been looking for an alcohol sponsor. Like I need a booze sponsor for Booze and Biz. He's like, wait, really? And so I'm like, I start rattling off all these companies that I've emailed, because I've emailed every company that, like, every local company I've emailed, and then I emailed anybody that I drink their drinks. I've emailed. I'm like, and I struck up a conversation with Ghost Tequila, and then like the company got bought out or something, and so like the marketing team like is slow to get back to me. We can't really get any traction. And he's like, well, do you want to come in and drink some tequila? It's like, mind you, it's like 1 PM. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I'm in his, so he invites me in his house. So I'm in his house and I have all my tool bags. Like, right. I wear a tool belt with bags on both sides. And I got like Christmas lights hanging out. I got all this crazy shit. And so I'm literally like standing in his living room, sipping this, like he's pouring these. So he's like, okay, this is tea. He's got this in it or that, whatever. Okay, this is L. So this is L, right? He's like, L's got like some vanilla notes and and some coffee or whatever. And I'm like, just sipping tequila. I'm like, fuck, this is fucking good. And so then we start talking. He's like, bro, done. We'll just sponsor the show. We'll sponsor the show. He sends me with the kit. Here, let me show you the kit. Yeah, so he sends me home with the kit. He's like, just take this kit. And then we started talking biz, like, what we're going to do for, there we go, there's the kit. So what we're going to do for some promotional stuff and whatever. He's like, bro, I'll get you this, that. And I was like, man, Daniel, like I do a lot of stuff like between my YouTube channel and other videos that I make and stuff. I'm like, I'm really, 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 really bad at like this part. Like I'm a bad negotiator. I'm like, if you guys want to pay me, that's cool. I will take your money. I said, but if you guys just give me free tequila, I'll probably be a happy camper. I was like, but we'll work the details out later. So he sends me with this kit, this one right here, right? So I'm drinking this one. I'm drinking L. So every single one of these tequilas is different. And so I'm like, cool. So we shoot a little video out in his driveway. And then I brought the kit to IAPA. So you guys may have been seeing me walk around with this fucking giant ass box, packed it all the way to IAPA. It's just like, it's just super cool. And so the box on the top of it, you can't really see it, but right there it says, not another celebrity tequila. He's like, bro, all these George Clooney and shit, all these people, he's like, we're Latino owned. Like all 4 of the partners are all Latinos. Like we know our shit about tequila. Like we're all Hispanic. And I'm like, that's badass, dude. And then he starts telling me about this. So this is the tequila tasting glass that they like custom engineered for sipping tequila. And I don't have mine yet, but these just launched. So he was doing the marketing for their Black Friday thing, which is if you buy the tasting kit, you get 2 free tasting glasses. And so, but if you want to buy it, by the way, the tequila is fucking delicious. And then you can use promo code Glassett at checkout. You get free shipping. And then what you do is you taste them all, and then you go here and you get to vote for which one that you liked the best. So you get to choose your favorite one. Was it T, D, L, or G? And then here's how they kind of all taste. Like I said, T was the best. So I actually broke out the kit on Thanksgiving at the family Thanksgiving. And I like had all the family sipping tequila. I made a whole video out of it. I've got to edit it still. But so basically what ended up happening was the dudes sucked tea dry so fast. Like the guys, generally speaking, liked tea. And then it was kind of a mixture between D, L, and G of what the ladies were liking, but they were loving them because like I think it was G. Very, very pronounced vanilla. It's very, very fucking good tequila.
Yeah, tequila can get fun. I went to a tequila tasting party at that medieval thing, and there was basically people that literally go to this like specific tequila drinking party every year at this medieval gathering, and like they literally like will literally like make tequila all year long. Like I had like over 30 or 40 different types of tequila. So like I was reading like some of the things on there, like for like experienced tequila people, et cetera. Like there's some very unique flavors of tequila. Like the Team L looks interesting to me.
Yeah, like yeah, that's what I'm drinking now, right? Yeah, L's fucking delicious, dude. Like it's like they all like to me, DL and G all kind of had similarities where they had like the vanilla was pronounced or the chocolate was pronounced, or maybe this one was the maple was pronounced, whereas T was very tequila. Like T tasted like tequila. These other ones, these other notes come through pretty strong on these. But it's good shit, dude. It's very good. And so then basically the one that gets the most votes is going to so over here. So the one that gets the most votes, they're going to then make the big bottle. Like they're going to go and send that to production and make that the tequila. Like Tequila de la Gente will be whatever gets the most votes. So it's like crowdsourced. So you get to like pick which one's going to be the real tequila.
That's cool. Or that they'll take to the next level.
It's called Tequilla de la
Gente.
Yeah, you pronounce the G as a J.
Oh, okay.
So it means tequila of the people.
Yeah, tequila of the people. Yeah, so it's not another, like on the top of the box, they don't show it, but it's not another celebrity tequila. And Daniel was like super passionate about that. Like, this isn't fucking George Clooney shit. This isn't some other, oh, there's the glasses. But it's super good. So if you like tequila, dude, check them out. Use promo code Glassett at checkout. Get yourself some free shipping.
Bro, I've been working a whole bunch on like a bunch of my IAPA videos so I can release them. And I gotta get people to freaking I'm adding more stuff to the platform because nobody wanted to post on it while they're all on vacation, which I don't blame them. So I gotta rework all that post. There, Freddie.
Who won the contest?
Nobody posted on the platform at all. It was that bad of a freaking launch. I'm not gonna lie, because everybody was just busy during IAPA. The group did great, but the platform it needs a little more traction. So I'm adding more stuff. The tokenization should be ready in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So you'll be able to upload all your pictures and videos to every single bounce house, every single from every product from every manufacturer, and you'll be able to actually charge people or give it away for free if you want to, all those pictures and videos. So if you have a drone footage of like a leisure unit, you could sell that footage or you can buy it. Or if leisure wants to cough up the money and everybody starts bitching at these manufacturers enough, they'll start paying for drone footage and stuff for us for free to use for our marketing.
That would be sick.
Well, that's the end goal here is like, you know what I mean? You're already providing us base pictures and stuff. That everybody uses. At the end of the day, they have to individually put these in every single email when they sell a unit. Well, why don't you just go to partyrentalknowledge.com and you can download those pictures for free right off the unit's profile. Then on top of that, if you have pictures of your own, you're able to upload it too. Or maybe you don't want the stock footages and you don't want to take pictures at all. Well, you can buy this person's pictures. Or maybe somebody has them for free and they're offering for free and you'll use them. So it's just variety all the way to the product level. And that's just some of the things I'm working on for the thing, but that should be ready in the next like 3 to 4 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Hyped. What'd you buy at IAPA?
I bought this goofy ass game that like Michelle and I were in love with, dude. It was from Jump and Jump, where it's like the little cones and they blow air out and then you can put the ball on top.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that thing, like we were just obsessed with it. So we bought that.
Matt just called me. He just created one that has that big arena thing. Did you see that? From Big and Bright? Big and Bright's got some cool stuff coming out. That game was cool.
Yeah,
he called me up. He's like, start carnival barking. I'm like, this is a sports game. I'm like, what do you want me to start carnival barking for? I'm like, I can say step right up. I'm gonna look like an idiot. It's a sports game. It looks cool as hell, but I'm not about to start carnival barking. I'm like, you do like a big carnival thing or something like that, and I'll start telling people to get in to win. It's a sin if they don't. Like get a Tweety for their sweetie. All kinds of weird stuff.
That's good shit. But yeah, that's all we bought at IAPA was we bought that. We bought 3 things. We got 3 games. We bought that. We bought like this. Oh, Christopher Weed actually was the one that put me onto this. It turns out it was made by Moonwalk, even though the chick's shirt said Eagle Bounce, but it's
The same company. They're
you
affiliated.
blow it up and
It's
then
like Ninja Easy.
yeah. It was confusing. But you blow it up and it's enclosed, like so it doesn't have a blower. So you blow it up and then it's done, and it's like a dartboard, and you can throw darts at it. The other side was tic-tac-toe, which I'm not super thrilled about, but she said that they're going to be releasing new panels. I'm like, yeah.
Be careful with sealed air units with games. If you put them on concrete and they freaking get holes in them, they're annoying as fuck. You're better off getting the bigger ones. Same thing with like darts and stuff like that. The Velcro darts and stuff like that. You're better off getting the units that are like inflatables. They have continuous air going through them, so when they get pinholes or messed up and stuff, that this unit is still good. When you do the sealed air games suck.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it was $150, so I was like, yeah, we'll take that.
Oh yeah, that's fucking crazy.
But I was like, we'll take that. Like,
yeah,
it was,
that's nuts. Would you buy it from there at the show?
yeah,
You bought it there. Was you shipping it or?
yeah, they were. Yeah, I was not. I'm just not a wheeler dealer like type. Like I'm just like, yeah, just ship that shit. When it'll get here, like January. I'm like, cool. So fucking March. That still sounds good.
Oh, that's crazy cheap.
And then we were at the Works and the fucking Aquaventronics booths for hours back and forth. And I love that shit, but I was like, dude, I just not ready to undertake the marketing side of it. Like I got a lot of shit going on.
It's a whole thing. For anybody does anybody here do foam golf or games? Carnival games?
Probably some foam people in here.
Anybody? Don't be shy. Nobody does it? Has anybody thought about getting into it at all? Or
Nope.
you guys want to get in a foam golf war games?
I got foam machine, but I'm not in the golf.
Yeah, so, like basically, how do you handle your foam parties? And you use BCN, right?
Oh yeah, it's just one of my add-on type of things. I use it more for myself and my parties.
Spend an extra $100 a month, dude. Create a specific foam party website. Tie it into BCN. Yo, Nick, go to my website, just in case party rentals, and you can see how I market my foam companies, and then I'm basically doing the same thing for carnival games and the same thing for mini golf. And this is the undertaking that needs to be done.
Yeah, and that's
kind of go to
just
in case party rentals.
We loved the Work stuff. We loved it. We liked them more, but it was just kind of like
you like them more than Aquaventronics?
Yeah, just kind of from a value standpoint. Like the Aquaventronic stuff is more expensive, and then I'm just looking at it like
the tub games are good for Aquaventronics, and then there's like 4 or 5 that are affordable and really good for Aquaventronics to start with, and then it start like, okay, now you're in a high tier corporate.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling. I'm like, dude, my guys are gonna break this shit, and then the programming is gonna be goofy. I'm like, this is not something I want to do. Let's go back to Works, and then we were there, and I was like ready to buy 3, and I was like,
scroll down the phone parties. It's to the left there. Up. Yep. So this is like, you got a regular site and you want to do phone parties, but I'm also offering all this crap. So I got to convert phone parties through this site. And I do. I convert phone parties on this site all the time. But go to groovyfoam.com.
Oh, I've never been there before. That's what I thought I was going to autofill. It's a good looking site, dude.
Let me just scroll through that real quick. Like, does this site look anything like the other site? And if you're going to look for a phone party, and this is the site I run my ads for phone parties on. And if you go to book, you hit book your party on whatever. All those buttons go to this page, and then individual packages and everything's priced out. So now if you go on now, click any of those buttons, and it takes you through all the products are shared within BCN. So now I can't overbook, and I can have and I have a separate booking form that it'll let you book anything but tomorrow. And you'll be able to like actually put all your information in. It's a separate booking form through a separate flow. And then I can actually track all the analytics and how much money this site actually makes me, so I know if it's worth me paying the $100 a month. And then this is hosted on a Wix site, so I just tie all these to the back of the other site was hosted, like front end was BCN. This is the front end is Wix, but the back end's BCN. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
so now I can have individual items. Like I can do the same thing for carnival games. I can do the same thing for bounce houses. I can have like a separate tent company. Like Just In Case Party Rentals is your one-stop shop. We have everything just in case. Whereas in your golf site or your foam site, you want that to be highly converting for golf or highly converting for foam. Whereas in like your schools and your corporate events, they want everything. They want, they want the place that has everything. But some people, when they're booking their parties, they don't want the place that has everything. They want the experts. So depending on where they come in, and now you're taking 2 of the 3 spots because your SEO is so good, and you got these decent sites that when people look up any of these type of rentals, you're coming up number 1 for them. And you have at least one highly converting brand targeting that.
Yeah, and this is the kind of shit where it's like, if you want to do this kind of shit, you got to stop.
Justin, I got a question if I can jump in.
Yeah, what's up, Jeff?
I was discussing this earlier on before you got on about branding and having different webs or having different sites for different audiences, one for a party rental, one for event rental, having basically the same material but branded in a different way.
Yep.
Can I DM you later on or message you later on and talk about that and see how you're doing it, so that way I can figure out how to set my stuff up in the future?
IO, BCN, ERS. I know how to do it through all 3.
Appreciate you, man. Really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. It's what I'm here for. Basically, like we're basically launching a whole consulting side of PRK. I want to basically not only just be able to give information myself, but I really want to start a network. Like if you have problems with hiring, I'm pretty sure you can pay Nick here, and he would be down to go through and build entire processes in your business for hiring if you wanted to pay him enough. There's all kind, like I know people that will literally be willing to come into your whole entire business if you use IO, and if you pay them enough, they'll spend a whole week or 2 weeks redesigning and your entire flow and making sure you're utilizing IO to the full potential, and it'll take your 500K a year company to $1 million, or your $1 million to $2 million, because you're just not letting anything slide through the system at all, and saving money because you're not making mistakes in certain processes. And yeah, that sounds like a bunch of random stuff I'm putting together and words I'm saying right now, but once you're at a certain level, you start realizing like, oh, like if I'm doing this, I'm suddenly losing money here, and if I don't have this, I'm losing money here. And it's like, oh, if I would have just moved this pit, like if I actually added, oh, this item wasn't on my website the entire time, it's been sitting on a shelf the whole year. Like I know people do that, like little stuff. They don't catch that as much as like, oh, did you know there's a way, like you don't have this email set up? I have this email set up that makes me $100K a year. This one email, like weird shit. Like,
that's what I'm here to learn. That weird shit.
But that's the thing is, like, the whole premise of PRK and like Nick's group is, yes, me and Nick have our YouTube channels and a face and all that, and we have education, and we do this at a higher level. But at the end of the day, like, there's also people out here that don't take the time that we do to put ourselves out there, but they would totally help you change your business and help you run it, and can do like amazing services. So like my goal and Nick's goal is to basically connect you people to those different services. At the end of the day, that people come to me and Nick because they want to buy and learn So it is our job to sell and educate.
Yep.
Oh,
I love it.
Good shit. Good shit.
What
All
other was that the only news that you're talking about? Was it tequila? I thought you had some big news or something.
That's big, bro. We got a booze sponsor. That's big.
That's the big news. I thought there was like another surprise besides the tequila.
That's big. No, that's it.
No, that is
Hey,
like
you
I'm
guys
actually
see
really
me?
excited for that. Are they national? Like, can you get that nationally, or is it just there?
Yeah, you can go to their website and order it.
Hey, do you guys see me?
One of those weird states, you know, that
I can barely see you. What were you saying? Oh,
Yeah, you're dark. Turn some light on.
I'm sitting in the car.
See you a
need a
little bit
ring
now.
light, bro. Gotta get the ring light.
Nah, I'm sitting in the truck though. So my wife, hey, she likes me to go outside when I have no business, you know. But you see me now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better.
My
Hey,
wife's
so actually, I do have some questions for you guys. Nick, man, the straps I ordered straps from you, man, the best straps ever. And the reason I say they're the best straps is because, man, we can anchor it down and we can readjust it. You know, we can pull it instead of having like, man, all that bullshit. And I hate that. So all our units, all our slides, we take off all the anchor straps. We put yours on there just because we can like readjust them.
Love it.
They love. Man, I sent you an email. I'm like, man, I think you should, man, do steaks. Man, make like hot pink steaks, purple steaks. Man, where they don't get lost in the grass. I think I lost about 3,000 steaks last year. Man, that's oh man. Don't get me wrong though, but it's like, man, I look at it every week though. Like, man, how are we losing more and more steaks? You know, but like
just go
that
to Home Depot and
silver.
buy some paint.
What were you about to say, Jeffrey?
I had a gentleman brought up steaks, and I don't know if anybody saw on the Facebook group. I posted this giant 3-foot steak that comes with my slide.
Oh,
and
that was you?
Apparently,
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
That's an unusually large steak. I don't know. So, do I have options?
Those are probably your stabilizers. They're not all like that, are they?
I have 10 of those for every tie down.
Who did you buy your slide from?
I used to do that stuff. What state are you in?
I'm in Florida. I got it used. It's an inflatables unit.
Florida, bro. Those things just go in the corner.
Hey,
18 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, where in Florida are you?
Is that?
I'm sorry, what part of Florida?
Unit is that? The manufacturer sent that to you. You're supposed to go by the manufacturer's guidelines.
Yeah,
But
They got it used.
Inflatables is the one who manufactures it. And they got videos on how to put it up, and they're using these big giant 3-foot stakes in their videos to do it.
So that's why you got inflatables. They're going by ATSM standards, and that's what those stakes call for. So they're doing basically so this is what they do. They do it at overkill, because if you put those stakes in, it's not going anywhere. And if you don't, and somebody gets hurt, you can't sue them. And it's technically on you if you don't do it that way, because you bought that inflatable. It is what it is. Some manufacturers, they have it where you use 100 pounds on each freaking ring. Some manufacturers only have 50. Choose your manufacturers wisely when you're looking at, like, people don't look at manuals when they buy units.
Hey,
I don't.
all right.
I don't even look at it. I look at it after fact, because it is what it is. I got enough for everything. And when I buy certain manufacturers, you buy the continuous the same things, you end up like it becomes almost routine. But yeah, there's differences. Some units, even with the same manufacturer, will have different weight ratings and different types of setting it up, just because the it's a different design. It went through a different testing. It requires something different. So me and Nick don't just say read the manual to cover our asses. It's like, I don't know. What first. And that's one of the reasons I'm going to plug it again. PartyRentalKnowledge.com is put some of this information on there so you can see these manuals and actually look at them digitally at any time, and actually start looking and knowing and wondering, if some kid actually got hurt on here, is this actually set up right? Or did I set it up to where I think it's set up right? Is it set up to the manufacturer's guidelines? And like, like most of these systems allow you to take pictures of every single setup. Nobody does that shit. I know
Hey,
you.
let me ask you. Hey, let me ask you one question though. So, like, man, we say the steaks and everything. So, man, I know you're in. We're in Alabama, so we get some hard dirt sometimes. So we have steaks we drive in, and we actually went to what was it? Ground gravel steaks, where we take a drill and drive them in. Those steaks are more secure than hammer in steaks. Like,
Yeah, well, some
you know what I'm talking about?
make you use screw-in stakes. Like you're not even using the right ones because you're supposed to be using corkscrew stakes. Some manufacturers I think Action Rides is like that.
And hey, Alabama dirt is so hard. Like August, you can't drive it in. You were driving a heavy steak though, but it doesn't even
But
matter.
even like Buffalo, like I use. You know what? Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm in my warehouse right now. Let's get it.
But we like to let them.
Yeah, there was at IAPA, Hogan Steaks is always there, and they had those big fucking screw-in ones, and I was like, dude, those look like a lot of work, unless you have the problem of getting it in the ground. Then that looks like less work.
You have to have the drill. You have to have the right impact.
Even those big ones, you can send in with an impact.
You can send them in with an impact, but then it sucks when you guys lose the impact drill. And man, that's a $300 drill.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you buy that shit at Harbor Freight.
Yeah, it's like man, it's on the way, 300 here, 300 there. But you know, in Alabama, when the ground gets so hard, that angers in real stronger than us hammering steaks.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but that doesn't even matter because the strength of it is the stitching.
All right. Let's have a conversation about steaks.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I went and did a setup because all the guys were busy putting up Christmas lights. So I'm like, fuck, all right, I got to drive this unit. So I went and set up like a little combo unit, but it was like way up the hill. So like where I'm at, everything's mud. But you drive 20 minutes north, it starts to get like rolling hills and it's hard. Oh my God, dude. It was getting those steaks in was super hard. But while I was there, I'm like, there's a better way to do this. Like, I'm not just gonna wail on this thing and die. And so I figured out, dude, if you when they're hard like that, if you little taps, it goes right in. Boop, boop, boop. I'm wailing on it, it barely moves. And I'm like, this is interesting. So by the fourth steak, I'm like, dude, I gotta make a fucking video on this shit because that fourth
Where you
steak.
guys at? You're in Texas?
Or
Louisiana. Where you
Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't know what's better.
I was like, I was way up there, dude. I had to have been similar to the Alabama ground. Had to have been. And I was like, dude, my little taps, like I started holding the hammer different. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking figure this shit out. And like I did this. I didn't even like there was no shoulder. Like I just held the hammer and did this.
Hey, Alabama, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Went right in. I was like, dude.
So, if I may, one guy out here.
One more question though. What's the overall take on one trip dolly? Because he's down in Louisiana.
Yeah, he's north of me, so he's like 5 hours north.
He actually he stopped by my shop in Alabama. He stopped by my shop about 2 weeks ago and dropped off a dolly to another company. I let them come to my shop because I have an indoor center and everything. So man, it's real cool guy, real cool guy.
Yeah, I like Cade a lot.
Let me show you the difference of like some of these steaks real quick while I still have them in my hand.
take on Cade is that his dollies are probably going to be pretty badass in 2 years. Like,
yeah,
it's hard as fuck to make. Like the geometry, like nobody understands the geometry.
Now, because he gave me a dolly way back. Man, that shit cut so many of my units. And I text him. I'm like, man, Cade, I'm like, man, the edges is cutting my units. I'm like, man. But hey, what you know he did? He's like, man, I'm gonna make it right. He's a good guy though. So you know they be hitting him a little bit though. And well,
I like Cade. He gets too much hate. He definitely gets too much hate.
He's a good guy though. He's a good guy though. You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm getting one this year though.
These are the units that most companies will actually send you. It's like that deck. This is the ones that like people like to buy, a little bit thicker ones that people don't sit like they can't really bend.
Yeah, that's
like
half-inch and 3/4 inch.
I wonder if I can.
Probably can, dude. Those things are garbage.
I wonder if I
You're
can
hardcore if you can.
No,
I send those in the trucks.
But no,
And
this
then
is
I just go look at the bins, and when they're bent,
what I
just throw them in the
use.
garbage. Like, we got 4 rentals, cool. Throw them in the
This
garbage.
is what I use.
The 1-inch thick,
Yeah,
1-inch thick, 18-inch.
yeah. You're not breaking these, and you don't have to dig
Alright.
equipment as thick.
That's not true. Fake news. I broke one the other day.
Fake
You
news.
ain't driving that shit out of Alabama ground though.
And I'm in Florida. I broke one. I have a 1-inch by 24 inch. That
So
crap broke.
These are the other stakes that I have. And along.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I have. That's
Yeah.
the same one.
So
Those are for tents.
Jeff, you
this
don't
one's
need
for
that.
tents. This one's for inflatables.
Yeah, that's what I have. That was what it was.
The tent, you're
Man,
gonna put a cap on here and keep the
if you
strap
putting
right
that in
here.
inflatables, you
That's
crazy.
why it's a
I
tent
can do
one.
none of that work.
Whereas in this one is for inflatables, and I
You crazy.
use these for all my tie downs.
Man, that's too much work, man. Hey,
Agreed.
Listen, I sleep very well at night. Like all the time. I don't worry. You guys worry about wind and all kinds of crazy stuff all the time. Like I sleep very well knowing that like my inflatables are very well anchored. And I especially when you're doing large events in your schools and all that, it's I don't know.
Well, I'm going overkill. It's who am I? Who's going to tell me not to?
Yeah.
If I want to put a little extra weight and put an
Hey,
extra large spike in, because I live in Florida and the weather here can literally change in 10 minutes and go from sunshiny calm to 40-mile-per-hour winds and rain hitting for 30 minutes. It happens, man. That's where I live.
What part of Florida you live?
About 30 miles west of Orlando in Groveland.
Oh, okay, I'm in South Florida.
Okay. Yeah, we're right where the sea breezes hit on a daily basis during the summertime. So we get some really extreme weather for about 30 minutes.
it's like a flash storm, correct?
It really is. It really is. We almost get like a straight line winds, not consistently, but a couple times a year, where they'll just straight line wind and knock some trees down.
Show our team if I was to show my team that's been with me for 3 years, them stakes, I think I wouldn't have no team no more. I guarantee you I wouldn't know. Man, I give them 18-inch stakes though. That's how I give them though. They get 18-inch stakes. We drive in.
But those big stakes ain't really that hard to drive in.
Nah.
And this Alabama hard dirt.
I live in a city where I'm literally
some
going
water on
through
it.
old dilapidated houses. I'm literally going through old rubble of houses with those stakes sometimes.
No,
man, I'm going
we have
going to the end.
So what we do is though, to be honest with you, we use the ground grabber stakes that are like 18 inches, and we can't get in there with the hammer it in. And in Alabama, sometimes you can't. Man, we just drill it on in. It's called ground grabber. You know what I'm saying? It's like man, drilling in wood. So like I don't know what's down there in Florida, but Alabama has rock hard dirt. Like
nice and easy. Now I can almost push an 18-inch stake in with my foot.
You know what a problem is
joking.
too?
I do that. Yeah, I can do that. I'm skinny.
Step on these things.
Our dirt's easy.
Yeah, I put a drill on it. Like, hey, go ahead, drill on in there. But they call us to like, man, is it okay if I use a drill stake? Cool, use drill stake. So we know each company, each setup that they used it. It's probably it's not too often, but it's often enough.
That's interesting.
It's probably like 10% of all our rentals in the summertime and in the heat, June, July, August. 10% of our they get drill stakes in there.
Not a bad idea to keep on hand just in case, because you never know. I mean, I'm walking around thinking that all of Florida is going to be nice and easy to put something into, and all of a sudden I hit some hard dirt. That's going to be a bad day for me.
Yeah, it only happens to us when we go a little bit north, just a little bit north, 20 minutes. We go up there all the time. And the guys will text me like, my fucking arm hurts.
Oh, all right, so a little drill. All right, I like that.
Good shit. All right, we're gonna end the show because I hadn't eaten dinner yet, and I drank a lot of tequila.
Tequila by who?
Tequila de la Gente, right, Freddie?
Gente.
Yeah.
Yeah, tequila of the people. Go buy some tequila. Real talk. Go buy the little pack. I want to know what letter's your favorite. T was my favorite, so go buy the pack. Tequila de la Gente.com.
Hey, Nick.
Code Glassett for free shipping.
Yep, code Glassett, free shipping at checkout, and then you get 2 free glasses. I don't even have the glasses yet. You get 2 free glasses, and then as far as the show goes, I'm in Kansas City next week for another rendition of The Blocks, the fucking crazy TV show I was on.
You're doing it again?
No, I'm going to the grad school. I got invited back for the round 2. And I'm very, 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 very behind on my homework. And then we'll probably get rolling. We'll probably get rolling back in December. So you guys have a wonderful night. I'm gonna have a little nightcap.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick, I have a quick question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Totally okay if it's a no. It's always a no unless I ask, right? So another thing I've been working on is building an Etsy store with a print on demand company. Is it okay if this one time I posted in the group?
Is it relevant? Is it relevant to the group?
No.
What is it?
It's an Etsy store, so I'm doing like Christmas ornaments, mugs, shirts. It's mainly like either animal stuff or faith-based or Christmas stuff, or it's just there's a blend of things.
Posted it in my Christmas light group.
Huh?
Posted in my Christmas light group.
I don't think I'm part of that one.
Christmas light. Yeah, it's Christmas light business mentors. It's the same name, but instead of bounce house, it's Christmas light.
So I can post it in there.
Yeah, so go join and then post it in there. All the moderators are installers, so nobody's paying attention to anything. So it will not get flagged. So you're good. Green light. And that's probably the crowd that'll like it, right?
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the inflatable group would be okay, or if it, like, I went to a couple groups on Facebook that I'm a part of. I'm like, did anybody mind? Can I post this? But then I don't get answers, or I try it and it doesn't show up. So I'm like, it's okay. It is what it is. I'm slowly building it and trying to get the passive income online. So I literally while we're on this call, had a first time stranger actually message me, and they're like, hey, can you personalize that ornament? I know this one is, but that one is like, can you personalize that one? I'm like, yeah, of course.
Love it. My mom has an Etsy store. She makes like wreaths and centerpieces and stuff like that. So
does she do the work herself?
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, the thing with this print on demand, I don't do any of the work. I just pick out of the catalog what I want. I use Canva to create all the designs. So I just upload and then do all the promo. And slowly, because of good friends that have genuinely liked things from my shop, buy the item, do the reviews. The reviews is how you get the traction in Etsy. And then I'm starting to get people that are finding me, but it's just a numbers game, right? So
you should hit up Adam the Tent Guy, because he's got a YouTube channel that's called Real World Side Hustles, and it's also a TikTok and stuff like that. And he'd be able to either talk about you possibly, or if you even want to do like an interview, he'd probably do a quick interview with you and maybe be able to like promote your Etsy store as a side hustle basically option.
Okay.
You might be getting some traction from there. Like I've physically met people who started whole businesses based off his side TikTok channel. He's also written like books. It's like was it 100 or 1,000 real world side hustles or something?
Yeah, the real world side hustles. He has a book.
Yeah, that was a pretty actually interesting one. Also, full disclosure, I was literally just writing a free article for how to start a bounce house company. I was just trying to do like, you know what I mean, what everybody does and have like something for people. And now it turned into a book. So I'm like 60 something pages in. So it's got
awesome.
Checklists and guides and all that. So yeah, stay tuned, I guess, for that.
That's so cool. I'll be your first customer.
I appreciate it though. But yeah, no, to definitely hit up Adam. That'd be a good way to get you out there too. Like it's also trendy right now because it's Christmas, so I'd get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Adam the Tent Guy on YouTube.
If you find him the Tent Guy, or his name's Adam Keller in the Facebook groups.
Keller.
Keller with a K. And anybody interested in getting in a tent too? Shameless
Keller.
plug to Adam. He's the goat.
Like Helen Keller?
Yeah, he's the
like Keller. Yep.
cool. All right, guys.
Can I get some info?
Tequilla Del Gente.
Buy it. Promo code Glassett, free shipping. Get it.
Good to see you guys.
All right. Later,
Hey,
guys.
Nick, before you leave, I'm going to message you about talk about event lighting to go along with Christmas lighting, since you were talking about that.
Yes, it's very, very similar.
All right, I'll message you here tomorrow or the next day.
Okay, sounds
Have a
good.
good night.
All right, guys.
Thanks.